The mother, who had been worried just moments ago, broke into tears of joy. She had never dared to dream that her daughter might one day learn to take care of herself. The girl's name was Helen Keller. She was born a healthy child into a wealthy family, but at 19 months old, she contracted scarlet fever. The illness robbed her of her hearing and sight, and gradually, she lost the ability to speak as well. From then on, Helen's world was enveloped in darkness and silence. Frustrated and unable to communicate, she grew increasingly irritable and prone to tantrums. The only way to calm her down, even briefly, was by giving her a piece of candy. The sweet taste would momentarily soothe her. But as she grew older, Helen's erratic behavior wore down her family's patience and energy. One day, she went so far as to push her baby brother to the ground. That was the final straw for her father. He decided Helen should be sent to a care facility to spend the rest of her days there. But her mother refused to give up. She firmly believed Helen's actions came from a desperate desire to communicate, not from malice. Holding on to this belief, she spent a significant amount of money to hire a governess named Annie from a school for the blind. On the way back home, Helen's brother asked Annie if she could first teach Helen how to be quiet. Annie, however, replied that Helen needed to learn the language first. If she doesn't understand language, Annie explained, how can she ever know what it means to be quiet? Hearing this, Helen's mother couldn't help but feel puzzled.
She can neither see nor hear, but if it is her senses that are impaired and not her mind, she must have language. Language is more important to the mind than light is to the eye.
Annie's response immediately filled the mother with hope. When they returned home, the entire family suggested that Annie take a moment to rest after her journey. However, she insisted on meeting Helen first. Their first encounter, however, didn't go as smoothly as expected. Although Helen was both deaf and blind, she still relied on her sense of touch and smell to recognize people. Realizing Annie was a stranger, she immediately snatched the teacher's suitcase. Helen's father wasn't impressed with Annie either. From the moment she stepped off the carriage, she hadn't taken off her sunglasses. Sensing his disapproval, the mother quickly explained that Annie had been visually impaired as a child and had nearly lost her sight entirely. It took 9 surgeries for her to regain partial vision. Even now, Annie still needed to wear sunglasses to protect her eyes from strong light. Hearing this, the father complained.
And they expect one blind person to teach another one? How long was she employed at that school?
Oh, she wasn't employed there. She was one of their best students.
Students?
Now you have 2 blind girls to take care of, Father.
You stay out of this.
Meanwhile, Helen had already opened Annie's suitcase